everybody, it's your girl Victoria Lady V12. You're here at V Sports, and this is the first episode of Fun with F1. It's a new podcast I thought I'd start as a fan of Formula One and just helping other people celebrate this excellent sport. This is the first week after the Belgian Grand Prix, which was the longest, shortest race ever. It was supposed to start at 6 a.m. Pacific time, and you know your girl was up, ready to watch the race, and due to the weather, the race was postponed. It took them almost 3 hours to get the race going. The clock was ticking down, as FIA rules say that there's stoppage time after 3 hours, and about 2 hours in, they realized that there's a rule where you can stop the time, pause it, and extend the day. It was really technical, and basically I was sitting around. A lot of people were sitting around waiting for this race to start, and it never did. Eventually, of course, they decided to do 2 laps behind the safety car just to make it a classification and an official race. So that was it. That was the race. They called it. The rain wasn't letting up. So Max Verstappen won. This was his 16th race. He did great in qualifying. George Russell got his first ever podium, finishing second. That was really exciting to see. He's a really hardworking driver. Of course, he is mentored by Mercedes' Toto Wolff, and, a major storyline is if he's going to get a Mercedes seat sooner or later. So it was great to see his smiling face on the podium. Lewis Hamilton finished third, and he seemed less than amused. Even in his after the race interviews, he just wasn't smiling. He looked annoyed. And later he posted on Instagram that this race was a farce, and he really hopes that fans get their money back. Lewis, I personally, if I had to pick a driver, I am a Lewis Hamilton fan, but the last Grand Prix, he got third place, and he looked tired. He said he's still kind of battling with some of the lasting effects from the coronavirus, when he had that last year. So it's definitely intriguing just to see him. Obviously, we had the summer break in between, but to see 2 races in a row where he's just not 100% his usual peppy, smiley self. So he is still in the leadership, in the top position for the Drivers' Championship. We'll see, Max winning this race cut the lead shorter. So another interesting note was that Nikita Mazepin got fastest lap. So, this race was just kind of a random, it'll definitely be one in the F1 history books. A positive of, seeing this delay, I thought, was the creativity of the social media teams. It was really fun just to see all of the Twitter accounts having fun with each other, coming up with creative things. Alpine released a rain playlist, which I thought was kind of fun to engage with fans. And Haas posted a video of their team playing soccer with Sebastian Vettel, and that was fun just to see the players, the drivers, being human and doing what they want to do. Other notable mentions from this race, Danny Ricciardo. This was his 200th race. It's really cool just to reflect on what a career he's had. Obviously he's been in the running for the Drivers' Championship before. Now with McLaren, he's kind of second driver to Lando Norris, but he's still, maintaining his name as an elite driver. He had a 4th place finish, and Lando Norris, actually, he ended up crashing really bad in qualifying, but he went to the hospital. He was okay. Another crash was Checo crashed even just getting into the formation lap. Shout out to Red Bull's amazing mechanics team. If you watch Formula One at all, they always have the best pit stop times, and they continued their excellence here. It would have been a 3 to 4 hour job to fix Checo's car, and they got it done in about an hour so that he could go back out to do what was 2 safety car laps, but he still got in on this race. It was also Fernando Alonso's 323rd F1 appearance. That makes him the second most driver appearances ever. So shout out Fernando Alonso. It's really great having him back on the grid. And yeah, overall, just this was kind of a random race that I'm sure the drivers will want to forget. Shout out to the fans for really sticking it out. It was great to see just how committed Formula One fans are. There's arguments about who has the best fan bases between the different sports or teams, and Formula One has committed fans. FIA President Jean Todt released a statement on Tuesday acknowledging that this was kind of a wild race, that, they followed the rules as best as they could, watching weather patterns and trying to present something safe and fun for the fans. But he did say that there will be a review of the current rules and just an analysis of how this situation could be handled better. So that is a breakdown of what happened at the Belgian Grand Prix. Now we are heading to the Netherlands, where Max Verstappen will be racing in his home Grand Prix, the Dutch Grand Prix, so that'll be exciting to see what happens next. If you're following us on V Sports, be sure to check out my list of F1 drivers matched with their counterpart rappers. That was a lot of fun to write. As Formula One drivers are known just as much for their big personalities as for their racing on the track. So see which rappers matched up with who and let me know your thoughts. Stay tuned to V Sports, V with 3 eyes, and we will have more awesome content for you.